Hey guys, Pedro here to do an album review. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the brand new debut full-length album from Once After Earth, out October 19th. This record has 13 tracks and it's just about an hour in length. I always talk about, when I talk about albums from symphonic metal bands, I always talk about the idea behind creating an album that sounds like a musical, that sounds like a play, that has that context around it. Now these guys took that idea, that concept to a whole new level. They actually broken down their album by acts, the same way you would break down a play, the same way you would break down a movie. So they have 2 acts on this record and they have an epilogue at the end. Really cool concept, really cool idea. Act 1 starts with the first song on the record, obviously. Act 2 starts with track number 7. I really like that. That was the first thing that popped into my eyes when I started looking at the track listing and I see that they have 2 acts on this record. They broke down the record into 2 acts. I really like that idea. Very innovative, very different, very unique, and it gives the album something different right away, right from the start. I really like that. Now, the key components about this record to me are 3. I really like Alina's voice. She has an incredible voice, incredible range, incredible delivery. She really can bring songs to life. She can grab the lyrics and bring the whole song to life, if you will. She has an amazing, amazing voice. I kept getting impressed, more and more impressed with every single song that went by on this record. She just brings something different and something unique to every single song, and she has an incredible, incredible voice. I cannot say enough about how good her voice is. The other 2 components that I thought were really well done on this record, one is percussions. I really enjoyed the percussions on this record. They were heavy, but not overpowering of Alina's voice. And that to me was key. It's key to have an album that is heavy on one side, but not heavy to the point where you feel like the vocalist is losing her space within the song. And the way, and this takes me to point 3, which was mixing. The way this record was mixed, they allowed the instrumentation around it, the orchestration around her, to be just another key component to allow her voice to be elevated to the next level. So kudos to them. By doing that, they created an album that sounds heavy, but not heavy to the point that you cannot really get the full extent of her vocal range and her vocal delivery. So to me, that's really important. Mixing, percussions, and her voice to me were the 3 key components on why this record is as good as it is. It's really a strong album. It doesn't feel like a debut full-length album. It feels like an album that's being put out by a band that already has at least 2 or 3 records behind them. It feels like a seasoned album. Really well put together, really well done. I also like to add one thing. I really enjoy the fact that they sprinkle male vocals throughout the songs. Some songs more than others, and some songs not at all, and in some songs just enough, just a little bit. That was the first thing that I noticed when I checked out this band, was their single, The Hour of Eden's Fall. When I checked out that song, I was a little disappointed that the male vocalist was only used once, very sporadic in that song. I really felt that song perhaps needed a little bit more. When I checked out the record, I noticed that they use it a lot more throughout other songs in order to give context to the lyrics, but also give context to the storytelling of the song. So they used it just enough, not too much, just enough. And it gives a different dynamic because her voice is so angelic that the song sometimes really needs something a little bit more aggressive to create an unbalance, if you will, to create a different dynamic within the song. So I really like the fact that they used a male vocalist as a backup vocalist, if you will, throughout some of the songs on the record, specifically songs that really called for a little bit extra, thickness, a little bit extra layering to make the song a little bit more powerful, if you will. Now, as favorite songs are concerned, I'm going to start with The Hour of Eden's Fall. That was the first single that came out. That was the song that introduced me to the band, that introduced me to this record. So this was a song that I really enjoyed. Specifically, the drums and guitar on this song were 2 key elements of the song that I really enjoyed, and once again, not overpowering Alina's vocals. And I think that's a key throughout the record. I also really enjoy the solo in this song. One of my favorite solos on the album is in this song, so I really wanted to mention that. And I remember when I first heard this song, I really felt that perhaps the male vocalist, like I said before, was not used enough. He only came in once during this song, and I felt that perhaps they could have used him more throughout the song. The more I listen to the song, the more I disagree with that point of view that I had at first time listening. I feel like perhaps this song not even needed it as much as some others do. And I'm glad to see that they used him more in other songs. Now, one of my favorite songs of the album, hands down, is Awake. That's the second track on the album. This song reminds me of Everdream by Nightwish. Not that it is a copy of Everdream by Nightwish, not that it sounds anything like Everdream by Nightwish, but if you strip Everdream by Nightwish down to the core bones, you will find some similarities to this song, Awake. The fact that they use the male vocalist a lot more in this song, it really reminds me of Everdream from that perspective, because they also use Marco in that song. So the dynamic between the two vocalists in this song is what makes me think of Everdream, because the song structure and the lyrics and the style of the song, they're not similar at all. But the use of the two vocalists in this song and the way that they're used really reminds me of Everdream. I really find Alina's vocals on this song absolutely beautiful. She really carries this song through. She is the life of the whole album, but in this song, it's just so beautiful. Her delivery in this song, absolutely amazing. This song has such life, has such dynamic, and I think one of the key reasons of that dynamic, it's really the male vocalist. He comes in the chorus and it really gives the song a complete new life. He transforms the song. He helps her sound even more angelic, because his voice is has such a difference from hers. So it really creates a balance between the two that makes the song such a larger than life song, almost a song that's called to be played in front of a huge audience. It just has so much life to it. The drums and guitar riff in this song are heavy, and they're just heavy enough. But once again, they never overpower her vocals. They're there, and if you're listening to it and you're paying close attention, you can really feel how heavy both are, but never to the point that they overshadow the vocalist. Amazing song, one of my favorites of the album. Another one is The Sins of Saints. This is another one that I cannot get enough of it. And once again, the combination of the male vocalist with her vocals. They also use a choir, almost like a theatrical choir, almost like in the background. I'm not sure if they used a choir or if this was backtracks to add volume and thickness to certain parts of the song, but it was really well done. It really works well. It really creates a sense of a cinematic vibe to the song. It really gives, once again, it gives this larger than life really vibe to the song. I really enjoy it. The keyboard melody on this song is absolutely beautiful. I love the keyboard melody on this song, because it's there at the beginning of the song. You kind of feel like it dissipates throughout most of the song, but it's always there. It's just very it's very underlined. It's not very noticeable throughout the song, and then it kicks back up again towards the end of the song, and the song finishes with the keyboard melody kind of playing out a little bit. Really well done from that perspective, because that keyboard brings so much melody to the song, and the song really needed that melody. The drums, on the other hand, on this song give it the thickness and the heaviness that it needs in order to counterbalance how much melody exists in this song. Once again, both keyboard and drums at no point in time ever overpowered the vocalist, which is key, because she has such an incredible voice. The song should really be focused on her first, and then the instrumentation second, and that's what they did, not only with this song, but the whole album. The Sins of Saints is one of my favorite songs. I'm really having a hard time picking my favorite song on the album, because there's so many good songs, but if I'm pushed against the wall, these three, Awake, The Sins of Saints, The Hour of Eden's Fall, are my three favorite songs on the album, just because of the dynamic that they have. All three songs are very fast, have a very fast tempo to it. They're very fluid, very dynamic, with heavier moments, more melodic moments, really creating a really good fluidity to the album, but as well as to the songs. This is it. This is Once After Earth, out October 19th. If you guys are fans of symphonic metal, you gotta check out this band. You gotta check out this album. This is their debut album. You're not gonna regret it. Like I said at the beginning, it does not sound like a debut album. It really sounds like an album coming from a seasoned band. You have to check them out. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts about the band, the album. I'm gonna be reading those and getting back to you guys. Take care.